Arun, welcome and thank you so much for being with CNN News 18. I'm Rihatul Siddiqui. We are getting some breaking news. This one's coming in from the Uttarakhand town of Joshimath. Now, after the cracks were seen in Joshimath and there were cases of land subsidence that were reported out of Joshimath on a large scale, now there is further bad news as buildings in Chamba area of the Tehri district are also witnessing something similar. This is the latest that we are picking in after 723 buildings reported cracks in the Joshimath area of Uttarakhand. Now the Chamba area of Tehri district in Uttarakhand is also seeing similar signs of cracks that are beginning to appear in the buildings there. So like I was mentioning, the situation in Joshimath is continuing and this is worsening by every passing day. We've seen how two hotels in Joshimath had come precariously close to one another and hence it needed demolition of the two buildings. On the right side of your screens, we are playing the images of those two hotels that are very, very worryingly close and they need to be demolished. That exercise is currently on in Joshimath. On the left side, you can see what is happening in Chamba in the Tehri district. These are cracks that have begun to appear in various buildings in the Tehri district as well. So that entire land subsidence situation that we are seeing in Joshimath probably has branched on and it is now being witnessed in Tehri as well. So this is much bad news that continues where you can see the similar scenes in Tehri as well. When we talk about Joshimath, we know that out of the 462 families, about 131 have been shifted to safer locations. There are many who are not willing to relent. They want to stay on with the houses and they don't want any demolition to take place, and they're really worried about their safe haven so far, where the places that they have lived. Now, there are similar situations that are being witnessed in Tehri as well. Let's actually take this across to my colleague Nikhil, who will offer more perspective and take us through what exactly is the situation, how bad really is the situation in Tehri as well. Nikhil, the fact that we're talking about cracks that are being witnessed in Chamba, in Tehri district, this is of course a worsening of situation, what we have seen in Joshimath.
So Greha, not just in Joshimath, but there are other places as well in Uttarakhand state where the cracks are being reported. And this is the reason why the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, Pushkar Singh Dhami, he directed the officials that all the hill station in the state, it has to go through a survey process about what is the overloading and what is the actual carrying capacity of that particular hill station. This is the reason why all of the administrative people have got active because of the same, amid all the crackage report which is now coming out from different places. So there is another place, Chamba in Tehri district. Many of the houses have reported cracks in that place as well. In fact, there are other nearby places to Joshimath, which is Kanprayag. There are some of the reports that in Kanprayag as well, there are few houses, including that of Rani village as well. Now, Rani village is the place which is near the Tapovan area. If you remember, Greha, in the year 2021, in the month of February, Rani village is the place which was affected the most because the gate of the dam, it had broken at that time in last year. And so there are multiple, cities, multiple districts which are reporting the same. But at the same time, what we are also learning from the highly placed sources in the Uttarakhand government, that the another visit of CM Pushkar Singh Dhami, it is also being planned in Joshimath. So he is likely to arrive here tomorrow. It's somewhat expected, but no schedule has come out so far because everything will be decided. Every schedule of Chief Minister will be planned as per the weather condition. There is report of Joshimath that it is likely to witness rainfall as well. Which is further going to impact the situation which is already underway in the Joshimath. Now these are the visuals again to start with from where you can see that the protesters are still sitting here outside the hotel. And the demand for the same is that until the compensation is fixed from the state government, district administration, till that time they are not going to allow the people, the agency, to use the hammer or to continue with the demolition process. So on one side the evacuation process continues to take place. On another side, the two buildings which was set to be demolished, the work for the same has not been able to start as we speak so far.
Okay. Nikhil, while you were talking about the demolition process that's currently on, we've had official reactions which spoke of the fact that only the two hotels that had in fact come precariously close to one another are the hotels, are the buildings in fact that will be demolished. However, there are voices of concern that constantly continue to come out of Joshimath and other areas of Uttarakhand from where these cracks have begun to appear as well. We also had reports about how one of the hotel owners had in fact threatened self-immolation if at all his building is touched. So that is the kind of heightened emotional sentiments that are being reported out of Joshimath. And the voices that you have just, in fact, the people who you've just shown are protesting outside demanding better compensation. What is the administration planning on doing about these people who are holding their ground, who are not willing to vacate the space despite the situation because they are just worried about their future?
Greha, to address the said issue, there was crucial meeting which held today at the Nagar Nigam Bhavan, where many of the stakeholders were present, including that of protesters as well. And from the administration side, the DM Chamoli, who is the nodal officer currently for whatever is unfolding in Joshimath Place, he was also there. But in particular, the Secretary to Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami, Mr. R.M. Sundaram, he was also very much present at that particular meeting. And he had directed all the people, all the affected people that see you have to vacate those places, particularly the two hotels which are being talked about. They also had word with the same, the conversation exchange. There were some of the grievances which the hotel owners put forth in front of the officials who were present at the meeting. But lastly, no consensus so far has been reached. The talks are already going on for the compensation part. The owner of the hotel, Malari Inn, who was talking about the self-immolation, he is the one who has been saying that until the time the compensation is fixed, they are not going to, to be removed from this place. But on the other side, the administration is hopeful that with exchanging the conversation, they are hopeful that the people, the locals will actually come out and they are going to help the administration as well in dismantling of the same. Now they are saying that this is not the process of demolition. Since this is on the fragile terrain, this is the reason why everything has to be dismantled in a proper way. And the team of the CBRI is the one who has directed that, see, because it is posing a threat to the nearby places, nearby houses, this is the reason why two of the hotels are set to be demolished. But also at the same time, the owners of the hotel, they have been directed by the officials that if any happening takes place because of their protest, then they are the only one who are responsible for the same. But if we talk about the further details, while speaking to CNN News 18 Secretary to CM, he has clearly said that so far, as per the official figure and the survey done so far, 20% of the Joshimath is affected because of the cracks. So the situation is that 80% of Joshimath is still saved. But if it continues to grow further, if the cracks are reported in other houses as well, then the impact of the same will be seen on the economy of Joshimath, because this is one such place, Greha, which sees a lot of tourists. This is the gateway to many of the trekking places as well. Oli is one such place. It is also a gateway to pilgrimage site. Hemkund Sahib is a nearby place. Badrinath ji is another which is a very famous place for the pilgrimage site for the Hindus. So there are a couple of things which are related to the Joshimath place. So if any such thing happens, and this is something which has been raised in the meeting as well for all the local people, this is something which has been informed by the officials that, see, they were directed that during the tragedy of the Kedarnath, it took couple of years for the economy to be brought back on track, and there were other nearby places as well which were near to Kedarnath till Mussoorie as well. Many of the tourists, they avoided for next couple of years visiting those places. So they do not want same thing to happen here in Joshimath. This is the reason why the district administration along with the state government, they are active, and they are saying only 20% is the affected area. But as far as the compensation is concerned, the government is paying all the sympathy to all the protesters, and they are going to compensate as per the market value. which will be brought to their notice at the earliest. Back
All
to you.
right. Nikhil, thank you so much for that. In fact,